What's going on, my friends? Welcome back to my fragrance channel here on YouTube. As always, I'm honored and excited to have each and every one of you with me. So in the past, I've made a couple of videos where I dedicated that entire video to reviewing fragrances from one particular house. I did a video for Mont Blanc. I did a video reviewing Versace fragrances, and this video is going to be just like one of those. And the house that we are going to be exploring is Banana Republic. More specifically, fragrances from the Icon line. So you're not going to see things like Modern or Cordovan or Black Walnut Legend, Slate. None of these fragrances are going to be in this video. And I've got 10 fragrances to review, so this is going to be a little bit involved, but I promise you it is going to be worth your time. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about Banana Republic Icon fragrances. Now, before we get too far into it, let me inform you guys about something. Usually when I make a video, I'm always posting affiliate links to the individual fragrances in the description below. However, I'm not going to be doing that for this video. Yeah, I may be shooting myself in the foot as an affiliate, but I am saving you money. I have preached many times about Banana Republic fragrances. Do not shop for them online because you will pay more money online than you will in rack stores where you can readily find them. I'm talking TJMaxx, Burlington, Ross, Marshalls. I have never paid more than $25 for any one of these fragrances, and you shouldn't be paying any more for them either. Yes, it does require you to get out to the stores in person, and there always is the risk that you may not find a particular fragrance at the store at that time. Okay, they don't carry like a ready supply of a specific Banana Republic. It turns it into a little bit of a treasure hunt though, but it is necessary, and I promise you it is worth every bit of it for the money that you save. Starting out with fragrance number one, I thought I would get going with my absolute favorite fragrance from the entire Icon line. It is a 2017 release that I think is absolutely niche quality. This is 78 Vintage Green, an absolutely spectacular citrusy green fragrance. It's outdoorsy, it's fresh, it's crisp. Oh my gosh, so good. Some of the main notes in here: bergamot, mandarin orange, some green leaves, some fig, vetiver, musk, and cedar. There's also some jasmine in there as well, and I think a little bit of green tea as well. But this one is so good. Think about if you guys have ever experienced Bond Number 9, an incredibly expensive niche fragrance line. They have a fragrance called Chez Bond. This one right here smells a lot like Chez Bond. Some slight differences in there, but the longevity is better. And let me tell you, the price, way better. I saw this on sale at Christmas time in Burlington for $22.50. What the hell, guys? This is why you shop rack stores, man. It is such a great fragrance. Definitely springtime, definitely summertime, and man, I can't get enough of this fragrance. Banana Republic 78 Vintage Green. It is so good. If you don't buy any of these other fragrances, this needs to be the one you get. Next up, fragrance number two, and once again, we have a powerhouse, an amazingly warm and romantic date night fragrance. This is Banana Republic's Tobacco and Tonka Bean. It's a purple bottle. You can't tell because of the light. My apologies. I am not the best at this, but I am good at talking about fragrances, and I'm telling you guys, this one is absolutely stunning. Of course, tobacco and Tonka Bean are the main players in here. It's given a little extra warm kick with some vanilla in there, but listen to these fruity notes that are also interwoven. We've got plum, pear, and coconut. You put all of these together, man, and it is absolutely spectacular. I get 6 hours of longevity with this, and once again, $22.50 at Burlington. There is no reason in the world no reason in the world that you shouldn't be buying this. And this is also, I believe, to be a very unisex fragrance. It sort of is like a masculine version of Dior's Hypnotic Poison. If any of you ladies are watching and know anything about Dior Hypnotic Poison, oh, guys, I'm telling you, if you have a lady that wears that, you will be helpless against their powers. It is so freaking good. But this is kind of a little bit more of a masculine version of that. So tobacco and Tonka bean, after you buy that vintage green, man, this needs to be your second purchase. Here we go with fragrance number 3 from the Banana Republic Icon line, and this is more of a recent release, released in 2020. It's another green fragrance, and I passed it a couple of times on the rack and I never got it, and then when I finally did and tried it out, I was pleasantly surprised. This is Banana Republic Grassland. Now this is a different type of green fragrance than the vintage green that we talked about earlier, so don't feel like if you buy one that you shouldn't buy the other. They're different enough to be to stand out on their own. But this is going to be a little bit more green than the vintage green. The vintage green, ironically, is going to be a little bit more citrusy. Top notes in here are apple, bergamot, and mint. That mint helps it pop a little bit, but it starts getting more green towards the bottom because it's got some lavender, some geranium, some ambergris, sandalwood, moss, and patchouli with a little bit of vanilla thrown in there as well. But I smell this and I tend to think that it's like if Davidoff Cool Water had been released in modern times as opposed to in the 80s. This is a less old school Davidoff Cool Water, and it really, really does well. Obviously going to be a spring and summer fragrance. I'll waste a couple sprays for you. Oh yeah, man, I love that opening. I really do like that opening. It is very vibrant and fresh, and like as soon as you come out of the shower and get dressed, man, this can get sprayed on immediately and you will be just fine. So Banana Republic Vintage Green, once again, $22.50. The prices don't change. I'm just going to be honest. Prices don't change. They stay awesome. Here we go with fragrance number 4, guys, and I'm going to be honest, this one is going to be very, very hard for a lot of you guys to find unless you go shopping for it online. I rarely see this one in the rack stores unless it is around Christmas time. So this is pretty much most people's white whale when they're looking for Banana Republic fragrances. It is Banana Republic's Dark Cherry and Amber. Man, this is probably, in my opinion, a little bit more of a feminine scent than it is masculine, but so many people like this. It is romantic, it is very rich, and very kind of sits heavy on your skin a little bit, and great for fall and winter time, nights out, things like that. The main notes in here: sour cherry, cherry blossom, praline, red amber, and cedar. I don't know why they call it red amber. What the hell? It's amber. Whatever. Okay. The scent profile on this, think of it like Baccarat Rouge 540 had some gourmand notes mixed in there, because when I smell this, I really get the sour cherry, and the praline actually stands out quite a bit. And let me put a spray on this one as well. I need to start spraying on strips more. Ah, man. Dude, I'm telling you, so this really is more of a feminine scent, but guys, don't be afraid of feminine fragrances either. This is, you will absolutely catch people off guard with this one, and not in a bad way. So please keep your eyes open for this one. This is an absolute necessity. If you want to have a collection of Banana Republic fragrances, you have to make sure that this is in your collection. But like I said, look hard, because it is very difficult to find. So I've found, as I've collected these fragrances, that Banana Republic does very, very well with making casual fragrances. And this one, for fragrance number 5, is no different. But I do think it has a little bit more of a mature pop to it. This is Banana Republic's Linen Vetiver. And I say it's got a mature pop to it because Vetiver, in my opinion, does come off a little bit for older guys, not too old, I'm not saying like 60, 50, stuff like that. But this really does have a great mix of notes in here. It's got some bergamot, some petitgrain, and cardamom at the top with some iris, some water jasmine, and then right down at the bottom you got some vetiver, musk, oak moss, and amber. I get the feeling from this one when I spray it. When I spray this one and smell it, I get the sense that it smells like a different type of Mont Blanc Individual. Mont Blanc Individual smells like fresh linen. Obviously the linen vetiver, but it smells like you just pulled a load of laundry right out of the dryer. You absolutely get the same type of feel from this, but it's a little bit outdoorsy as well. You've got some other kind of green, like the petitgrain that's in there, the water jasmine. Those green notes seem to stand out a little bit more, whereas the Mont Blanc Individual, you have that top note of raspberry. But this one is really good. Once again, spring, summertime. But this is something I would say you can wear during the daytime, or you can even wear it to a formal event like to church or something. But it lasts a decent amount of time. How much did I pay for it? $20. $20! I'm getting even lower with my price. $20. Linen vetiver. There it is. I'm going to stop talking now. Next up for fragrance number 6, I've got to bring down the mood a little bit because I don't like this one quite as much. And it's my fault. I get it. I blind bought every single one of these fragrances. Never smelled them, but when I saw them on the rack, I saw how inexpensive they were. I'm like, I'm going to get that. And I just kept adding to the collection, adding to the collection. No regrets. But every once in a while, you run into a miss. And that's this one. For fragrance number 6, we have 06 Black Platinum. And the reason I don't like this one quite so much is because the notes in here are a little bit jumbled to me. Did anybody else do this when they were like 6, 7 years old? You'd go to a fast food restaurant. They had it where you could put your cup up to the fountain and get whatever you wanted. They had like 8 or 9 different sodas. And every once in a while, you'd just be like, you know what, screw it. I'm getting a little bit of each one. You go, and we call it a kamikaze, where you get a little bit of each drink, and that's what you drink. That kind of reminds me of this fragrance right here. It's got top notes of pink pepper, lemon, and cactus. Some of the middle notes are orange blossom, moss, and jasmine, but in the base notes, we have patchouli, amber, and leather. All of these fragrance notes just kind of get jumbled together. And so when I tell you that, I know that it lasts a while, okay? I'll give you that. It's got some longevity. But for the way it is, it kind of seems like a formal scent. It kind of seems like a nighttime scent. It makes me kind of want to wear it in the daytime sometimes, though. I don't really know what to tell you, man. I'm not going to lie. I just don't know what to tell you. Some people may like it. I feel like it's a little bit more for old people, and I'm talking in their 40s, 50s, 60s, stuff like that. And I say that with all due respect. I'm almost 40, so I'm getting into their old guy range. But this is just not for me. I just can't make sense of it. All right, fragrance number 6 is out of the way. Fragrance number 7, I'm going to bring the mood back up because this fragrance is absolutely amazing. I sprayed some on my skin prior to talking about it, just to remind myself what it smelled like. And good Lord, each time I smell it, it gets better and better. This is another 2020 release. This is Banana Republic's Metal Rain. And, such a pleasant opening. It's got some citrusy sweet notes. It's got some lemon, some black currant, and violet leaf. So there's a little bit of green freshness up there. And then it's got some green tea and lavender for the mid notes. And then right there at the bottom in the base notes, we've got some sandalwood, some ambroxan, some musk, and cashmerean. All of these together kind of give it a bit of an ozonic type of vibe. If you don't know what that means, it's kind of got a metallic smell with some musk in there as well. Something like, if you've ever smelled it, Club de Nuit Sillage would be considered ozonic, a little bit metallic. And this one is no different, but the sandalwood and the lemon and black currant and lavender especially just bring a certain uniformity to all of these notes. And man, I just absolutely love this. You can wear it day or night. Spring, summertime, probably the better situation to find yourself in, but fall and wintertime, you're not going to offend anybody. It gets 6 to 7, sometimes 8 hours on my skin with this one, and it is it is really expensive at $22.50. Good grief, Burlington, I love you, man. I freaking love you, Burlington. But anyways, before I get too carried away, this is Banana Republic Metal Rain. Here we go with fragrance number 8, and it seems like Banana Republic has a corner on the market with these fresh green fragrances, you know, the ones that are just invigorating. You know, this one's no different, but it adds a little bit of masculinity as it is more focused towards the woody fragrance family. This is Banana Republic's Cypress Cedar, and I'm torn myself. It does have pretty good reviews. This is a 2018 release. It does have some pretty good reviews. Myself, it's not my favorite, but I'm not gonna knock it because I can absolutely see how people like this. It's got some top notes of bitter orange, some mint and pink pepper. And then once you get into the middle and base notes, it starts really opening up with some cedar, some rhubarb, cypress, vetiver, patchouli, moss, and musk. So when I smell this, it kind of smells like I'm sitting in the middle of a woodworking studio. You know, you got some wood shavings all over the place and everything, but there's also that citrusy and spicy, those citrusy and spicy notes that exist there too. It almost gives me the same vibe as something like Tom Ford's Costa Azzurra, where it is a little bit formal but a little bit edgy at the same time. So I would see this being worn by somebody that is a confident gentleman. Daytime fragrance, yet again, like I said, I feel like they probably have a corner on the market on the daytime fragrances as well. Daytime fragrance, I do think because of the woody notes, it can be worn year-round as well. But that is Cypress and Cedar. Not my favorite, but I'm not going to diss it. Moving right along to fragrance number 9, we have a hard-hitting summer fragrance that a ton of people love. This is Banana Republic's Neroli Woods. I say a ton of people like it. Myself, I'm still not the biggest fan of this, just like our last fragrance. But also like our last fragrance, I will not hold it against anybody that does like this, because there are a lot of people that really love the Banana Republic icon line that stand by this one like crazy. It's got some top notes of neroli, mandarin leaf, and coconut. Neroli is a hit or miss fragrance note for me. It can be used very nice as a note, but sometimes it can be just way overpowering and it turns me off. If it's used too much, it gives off too much of a really old person vibe. Like my grandparents wore a lot of neroli fragrances. Wasn't my thing. As it gets into the mid note, you've got some orange blossom, some solar notes, and then some sandalwood, cedar, ebony, and amber. Now, as I said, this is definitely going to be more of a summertime fragrance. If you find yourself at the beach or maybe on somewhere around the coast on a holiday, this is definitely a good one to wear. It's a good casual scent. Definitely, once again, for the daytime, as a lot of the Banana Republic fragrances are. The reason I don't like it is I feel like it lacks a little bit. I would love to see something like tuberose added, another white floral note that kind of gives it that suntan lotion type of approach. And I think it would do really well. It's not like, if any of you guys are familiar with Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino, that one has a bit more citrus in there. This one does not contain any citrus whatsoever. I think it probably could use a little bit, but I'm not going to fault it for leaving that out. It does get a decent amount of longevity at 6 to 8 hours, and is totally unaffordable at $20. You know, $20. Neroli Woods from Banana Republic. Last up, fragrance number 10, and I saved this fragrance for last because I absolutely hate it. I despise it, and I'm not going to make any qualms about it. This is Banana Republic's 17 Oud Mosaic. I saw it on the shelf. I'm like, man, they have oud. I'm going to go ahead and get this. And I smelled it, and immediately I was hit with what I could only describe as an old man's stale farts. and it is just god awful to me. I really like oud, okay? I really like floral fragrances, but when oud and floral come together in the wrong way, as I feel like they did here, it is just the worst. It's got some plum, cardamom, Turkish rose, some saffron, some oud, amber, and musk. This fragrance actually reminds me a lot of YSL Kuros in its scent profile. It doesn't have those animal notes, those animalic notes like civet in there, but you can definitely pick up on some of those other very strange combination of notes. At least I find it to be strange. I only spray this in order to smell it to remind myself how much I hate it. I have tried wearing it on my skin once or twice, and it burned a hole through my skin, just like the alien's blood burned a hole through the ship in the movie Alien. It's got 4.2 on Fragrantica. I don't know how, man. I know I'm probably in a league on my own. If you're watching this and you like this, I'm sorry. More power to you. Please don't unfollow me. I love you, but this smells like just it smells like death, shame, and destruction. Everything that Armageddon would be in the end days is in this bottle. So yeah, just if you buy it, please wear it somewhere else. I love you. Just don't wear it when we meet. And there we have it, my friends, my collection of the Banana Republic Icon fragrances. I still have a couple of more that I'm keeping my eye out for to add to that collection. I don't have them all yet, but I will. And like I said, they are so inexpensive. If you guys want to start a collection, this is a great place to start, man. I'm telling you, I spent, for 10 of those fragrances, I spent less than $250. That is such a great deal. I'm telling you, this is well worth looking into. In the meantime, guys, I hope y'all have the best of days. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for following. Remember, I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers before my birthday on January the 22nd. So let's try to push this channel as much as we can and get to 1,000 followers. I love you. Be sure you like and subscribe. And until we meet again, take care.